Cedar Creek Reservoir, a 32,000-acre artificial lake 50 miles southeast of Dallas. It's mid-March and water temps are in the mid-50s. With a full moon rising, Cedar Creek is ready to fire.
The fish should be moving up. Full moon last night. The water still sounds like it's pretty cold, but we'll catch them shallow tomorrow. That's what our game plan is.
There'll be a lot of boats in a lot of creeks, but I think the fish are just about to start moving up.
We'll fish in docks in the morning, and then later in the day, once the sun gets up, those fish suspend. We'll go throw an A-rig and maybe drag Carolina rig around some stump beds.
The big key here is you won't catch 5 giants, but there'll be a lot of teams have 2 big ones like a 7 and a 9 or 2 8s or, a couple 6s. So a couple of those good ones are going to be game changers tomorrow.
With $90,000 up for grabs, the second stop of the season looks like it's going to be a shootout.
TXCT hit it perfect. You guys are going to see a lot of guys bringing in 20-pound bags consistently.
Here's the best. If you're going to do good, you got to fish against the best, what we were told.
This is the best tournament trail in the business.
The road to the championship continues. Right here on the top-rated team trail in the country, the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
Welcome to Cedar Creek Lake for Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. The official time is 7:10. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. Final instructions: when we call your boat number, idle by driver's side.
We've got 172 teams on hand this week, fishing for a $90,000 total purse. The champs pick up a 2022 Triton Mercury package, and we're paying down 26 places. There's also $13,500 of contingency money in play. The TXTT Sponsor Contingency Program rewards brand loyal anglers with additional payouts that reach deeper into the field. We've got programs for Nitro, Triton, Ranger, Garmin, and Mercury Marine. For all the details, look us up at TexasTeamTrail.com. All right, getting right into tournament coverage. This is Hunter Marshall and Trace Odell, fresh off a big win at Rayburn on our first stop of the season. Sacking up 5 for 28-16, they trounced the competition, and we got nearly all of it on camera.
It went down pretty quick. It was a freak deal. He just happened to pull up on us, and we happened to know the guy, and he asked if he could get in the boat, and when he got in the boat, everything broke loose. it was bull in a china shop. We caught 4 big ones. I don't even know what 2 of them were. I think we caught like a 10 and an 8. And then two around 4 pounds anyways. Ended up with 28 in about 20 minutes, 28 pounds. It was an incredible day. I mean, we came to try to stay in contention for Angler of the Year, and if it goes anything like practice, we'll be back down in the bottom of the list before too long.
In addition to Lucas Oil Angler of the Year points, Hunter and Trace picked up a $41,000 prize package, including a Mercury-powered Nitro Z18.
It's every fisherman's dream to win one of these things. Especially a Texas Team Trail. I feel like this is probably some of the best anglers, definitely in Texas. Possibly in the state or in the nation, I should say. I don't feel like this is going to be anywhere near the same type of event. This is really a grind. You saw a lot of big weights at Rayburn. I don't think you're going to see that in this one. I do think you'll see a couple bags over 20, but I don't think it's going to take that much to get a check for sure.
How you going to target?
Oh, man.
How about we let you choose? You tell us what you want us to throw. We'll throw it tomorrow. That's our confidence level.
No, we're just gonna try to make some good calls in the morning and hopefully get lucky and just try to get out here with 5. Honestly, just feel the limit and survive.
Got it. Okay. Got one. Big one. Ready? Choked it. threw that swim bait up there right next to the rocks, and I guess it kind of wedged in there, and I was popping it out, and as soon as it popped out, he ate it. Big it. We're gonna say she ate it. I think that's a she. That's a female. That's a good one. That's one more bite than we had yesterday all day. So I'd say it's a good start. If I don't catch another fish today, I'm happy.
We're midway through the season, but there's time. With events on Texoma and Rayburn, we invite you to come out and take part in the top-rated team trail in the nation. And before you hit the road for the next event, head on over to Bass Pro or Cabela's to stock up on the latest in gear, tackle, and electronics. The Texas Team Trail is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. And by Lucas Oil and High Performance Marine Products. Coming up, we're back on Cedar Creek for continued tournament coverage, right here on the Texas Team Trail.
There's no feeling like it. When you've prepped the gear, done the research, found the spot, nailed the presentation, and now there's only one thing left to do. Keep fishing. So gear up with all the best fishing gear, only at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Shop in-store or online.
You have a full-time job and you want to be a full-time angler. Don't waste time scouting. You want to catch fish. That's where Garmin comes in. Our mapping with Navionics data lets you see more detail than the fish do. It's kind of a big deal. Oh, and our industry-leading live sonar is so crisp and clear you'll think you jumped in. You're welcome. Now, if only we had a powerful, efficient, whisper-quiet trolling motor. Actually, we do. It's called Force. We knew you'd like that. Less time finding, more time catching fish. Only with Garmin.
Hi, I'm Pro Angler Mark Rose.
And I'm Pro Angler Andy Montgomery.
You want your truck engine to last longer than a 3,000-yard bulk spool of line?
Lucas Oil, motor oil, long lasting.
Extra long lasting.
Should I say running smoother or running better? Running smoother might sound better. Smoother than a three-legged thunder cricket coming through a treetop.
Silence! Say something about injector cleaner and hold up the bottle. Are we rolling? Jeez. Come on! Lucas Oil, made in America.
Sold to the world.
Welcome back to the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. This is stop number 2 in the 2022 season, and we're on Cedar Creek Reservoir, some 50 miles southeast of Dallas, Texas. This is Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's pro staffer, Colt Ferris, and his partner, Brian Salas. They're running docks, sticking to the outside deeper edges.
Back home, they're pretty much already on beds, but here it seems to be a little colder, and those fish are staging, so they're sitting out a little bit deeper, edges of docks, down in about 8 to 10 foot. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just throwing an old Bagley's crankbait made in the 1980s, and they seem to be choking pretty good.
Net, Brian, net. She big. Oh my gosh, I really thought that fish was bigger. I guess it got hooked perfect. There's a start. There we go. I like the ones when you catch, you don't have to measure them. That'll work. We're on the board. All it takes is one to get started. Go from there.
Fishing out of a Ranger 520C loaded with Garmin electronics, Colt realizes the value of sponsor contingency money and is taking full advantage of the options.
The contingency actually pays down further than the bottom check, so just for running a boat, you don't have to get up in the top 10. You can be in 50th place and still get a check. So it makes it good. It makes it worth running the boat.
Leaving Colton Bryan, we'll move on and check in with Nitro Pro Terry Peacock and Scott Dean. Running docks. By their own admission, they're throwing jigs, dirt shallow.
It's not for like a bass, dude.
Oh, this big guy. Look at a blind hog, brother. A blind hog.
I'll waller around blind all day long for one of those babies right there, baby. Good.
Hey,
down. Huh?
But
How
you know
about
what we'll
some
do
of
with
that?
that?
How about some of that?
He's gonna get a hotel all by himself.
Did you make you a reservation?
Yep.
Oh, get on down with it. That came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, brother. Hey, that is a blind hog right there. We're going between docks.
There you go. Put him in his hotel room.
Put him in his, he gets one by himself.
You put him in the jacuzzi.
Just go ahead and drop him in there. And drop him in there.
I can say one thing. We did not give away any of our honey holes on that one. Because there ain't no reason for him to be there.
Wow.
He was just getting some sun, and
was
I
up
went
there
by
getting
him.
some sun, and he freaking blazed that blade.
I'll take it any way I can get it.
That felt like a bass, huh?
Yeah, that wasn't skill. That was just dumb luck.
I'll take blind ass luck anytime.
I'll take it every time.
Wow.
Half these things, that's how they're won.
I had this trolling motor on freaking.
I know you were going on Scoot.
It was on Scoot. Scott and I, neither one had been here in about a month ago, the last time we was here. So really don't know what to expect tomorrow, but the lake always fishes good. So I'm sure it's going to take 22 to 26 pounds to win.
There you go. Got him. That's a big one, dude.
All right, I got you.
Come see. He's not that big, but he's going to help us if we can get in.
It's number 5. It's a baby.
That'll work. He ain't as big as I thought he was.
No, that's number 5.
I had my big eyes on.
That's number 5. There's call tags right underneath your knee. Should be. Time is it? It's a little bit after 11. We just caught our 5th keeper just a little bit ago. We got right around 20 pounds. We got one small fish. That last one was 1.75 pounds. We're gonna do the same thing we've been doing. Right now, they're starting just to push our bait. They're not really eating it like they were earlier. First 3 or 4 bites we got, I mean, they choked it. So we're fixing to just keep moving and probably change up a little bit, but still gonna stay shallow.
Nitro Boats is part of the Texas Team Trail Contingency Program. At our last event, Brian McDonough and Paul Garrett finished 43rd and still picked up $125 in Nitro bonus money. Get all the details at texasteamtrail.com. You're watching the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. This segment is also brought to you by Garmin Electronics, Fight Your Fish, not your fish finder, Nitro Boats, Pro Level Performance, Mercury Marine Outboards, Go Boldly, and by AFTCO, any fish, any water. Coming up, we'll get back out on Cedar Creek Reservoir for more from stop number 2 in the 2022 season of the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
When there's miles of water in front of you and hundreds of feet below, you need a boat with the chops to dominate, no matter the conditions. With the strength and technology to overcome the elements and the competition. Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time.
At Mercury, we invested thousands of hours of engineering manpower so you can enjoy hours and hours of untapped horsepower. The V6 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly. At Mercury, there are no limits to what we'll do to make sure you have no limits either. The V8 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly.
As a professional angler, you've got so many things on your mind. Any advantage that we have is key. And not only rods and reels and lines and baits, but in our clothes. And the guys at AFTCO, I mean, they have something for every situation. There's nothing AFTCO hasn't thought about with the fishermen in mind. It's designed for fishermen, by fishermen, for every scenario you can come to. Any fish, any water, any condition, AFCO has you covered.
Back on Cedar Creek Reservoir, this is stop number 2 in the 2022 season of the Texas Team Trail presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. This is Weatherford, Texas's Triton Pro, Joe Mann and Myron Beachy.
You know, it's a good lake. It's got good fish in it. It's hard to fish. There's more and more construction going on, all the retaining walls, lots of people, lots of docks. It's just that kind of lake.
With Joe throwing a jig up front, Myron has a Texas-rigged blue craw that he's skipping under the docks.
That'll help. That'll work. Well, I don't think we need to check him.
Add 3 pounds to the tally. That's fish number 2.
Well, that's 2 good ones. Need 3 more. Well, obviously, anytime you get fish in the boat, it's a better deal. But we had a really slow morning. We knew it'd be colder in here, and the wind really tore it up yesterday, so we figured it would take later in the morning, and sure enough it did. But we got 2, we got a long way to go. We got 2 good ones, but we got a long way to go.
Oh, crap. He's swimming out with it.
Dadgummit. I think these fish are just continually moving in with the warming of the day, each day. This is about the second time we've been over these docks, or third? Second time, I guess.
Yeah, the second time this morning.
Well, that's a little smaller, but
hey,
he'll help.
It adds to the bottom line. Want to put him on the left or the right?
Not real big, but he'll keep. Black blue jig. That's what we've been catching, or what I've been catching them on. He's just throwing a Texas rig of the same kind of a crawdad bait. It's a real slow bite, but that's what we've been doing.
Moving on, this is Robert Anderson and Ricky Morris. Running docks, they've got 4 for an unofficial 10 pounds. Conditions this year have been tough, and this late season cold front has added to the challenge.
Yeah, I was down here a couple weeks ago for a different tournament, and it's about the same as it was. We looked, we just couldn't find any on beds. We really expect to see some. Trees are blooming. It's time, not blooming, well, the dogwoods are blooming, and some trees are budding. And it's time for them to be on beds, and just couldn't see them.
How's the weather going to affect you this weekend?
I don't believe it will. We got sunshine today, it's sunshine tomorrow. Water temperature's not going to drop that bad.
Pitching a Texas-rigged soft plastic into the shade of the dock, and Robert gets rewarded.
Good. I'll flip him. I don't think he might come. Oh, he'll come. Then we'll go ahead and find number 5, hopefully.
Pretty good call. That was a good little stop. Good little stop. I was throwing that finesse jig underneath that dock. Kind of letting it sit still. Picked it up and ran with it. I was running my mouth whenever it hit, actually. I'm glad I caught it.
The Texas Team Trail is presented to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. For whatever your outdoor passion, Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's has you covered. Visit one of their retail stores or shop online. This portion of the Texas Team Trail presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's is also brought to you by TH Marine. From transom to trolling motor. Triton Boats, the driving force of performance fishing. And by Sunline, the strength to guarantee confidence. Coming up, we'll wrap up our on-the-water coverage and head back to Log Cabin, Texas. There's $90,000 on the line. The weigh-in is next, right here on the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
At Duckett Fishing, we have assembled the top pros in the country to help us design rods to give you a competitive advantage. Castability, strength, durability, action, sensitivity, weight and balance, and consistency. Combine that with the best warranty in the industry, and you have rods that are pro-driven.
Duckett Fishing, pro-driven. Born in Japan, FC Sniper became the #1 fluorocarbon line in the Japanese market. It transitioned to the U.S. in the early 2000s and continues to grow in prominence with anglers. FC Sniper is the flagship product in the American market and bestseller. It features the perfect blend of abrasion resistance, low memory, and tensile strength. FC Sniper is offered in pound tests that range from 2 pound to 30 pound and in spool sizes up to 1,200 yards. FC Sniper has the strength to guarantee your confidence.
Nitro, a rush of tournament adrenaline. Nitro, the choice of champions, where performance meets play. Nitro, a big water beast, a pure fishing machine. Nitro, release the champion within.
Welcome back. This is the Texas Team Trail presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. We're on Cedar Creek Reservoir, 50 miles southeast of Dallas, for stop number 2, the midway point in the 2022 season.
Well, we did a little bit of everything. We caught a few shallow, we caught a few offshore in the morning, fished some docks, trash fished really.
How was your day?
It was a good day. Just a little tougher than we thought, but it was a good day.
Did you throw what you thought you'd be throwing?
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty dialed in? How many times did you call today?
Twice.
We caught fish all day. It was, jumping from dock to dock, kept moving a lot. We probably hit 200 docks today, but, we picked them off one at a time and just culled through.
They were just few and far in between. We caught 5 keepers, and that was it. They were just the right fish.
Conditions set up right today. With last night's full moon, the fish triggered, and as the water warmed, waves of big females moved up shallow. Checking the numbers, that big bass is worth $860, just part of that $90,000 purse. We're paying down 26 places, and the champs go home with a brand new Triton 18 TRX powered by a Mercury 150. There's also $13,500 in contingency money available this week. Qualify and earn. Check out TexasTeamTrail.com for details. Okay, heading to the scales. Lucas Oil points leaders Hunter Marshall and Trace Odell weighed 4 for $10.94 and 54th place. Nitro Pro Terry Peacock and Scott Dean put a limit on the scales for $19.72 and 6th place.
About 11 o'clock, our boat shut down. What did we catch? One little short fish after that the rest of the day? Yeah.
Inside the top 3, Gary Kennard and Rick Scott finished out 3rd with 23.09. Steve White and Ray Page Jr. were 2nd with 23.63. And finishing out on top was Drew Sloan and Nolan Jackson.
Looking for 23.64 to take the lead. Drew Sloan and Nolan Jackson, 26.57, your new leaders. Congratulations, guys. You got a big one.
Taking advantage of the sponsor contingency programs, Sloan and Jackson picked up an additional $3,250 in Angler Advantage, Garmin, and Mercury money. They also took advantage of the Nitro bonus and upgraded to a Z19 with a 200 horsepower Mercury outboard.
Oh, it's amazing to win a tournament like this against this group of guys. We're truly blessed for sure. I mean, we had one of the best days that we've ever had on the water. Period. And that's what it takes to win a tournament like this. And our hats off to Texas Team Trail and Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, Nitro Boats, everybody for putting this on, because it's a good tournament trail.
Steve White and Ray Page Jr. finished out in second. They'll take home $5,665 in regular payout and angler advantage money.
Well, I mean, we just kind of poked around. Nothing ever came out as a pattern, basically sporadic fishing, all shallow. Jigs, flipping docks, basically.
Checking the Lucas Oil Team of the Year. With back-to-back top 10s, Kennard and Scott are on top.
We fish mainly 5 to 12 foot of water, isolated structure, and just picked one off here and there. So caught 8 or 10 keepers, mainly on plastic and vibrating jigs.
And that'll do it for stop number 2 on the 2022 season of the Texas Team Trail. Coming up next, we're on Lake Texoma, mid-April, and lots of options. For all your fishing and boating needs, Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's has got you covered. Shop their retail or check them out online. The Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, is a Careco TV and an Outdoor Teamworks presentation.